From the Ticats Audio Network, this is Ticats Today with RJ Broadhead.
Welcome to Ticats Today. Great to have you with us. It is Friday, June the 28th. The Tiger Cats are getting set for their fourth game of the season. We're 2 days away from that. I'm RJ Broadhead. Steve Milton will be back tomorrow with the Road Report. And the Tiger Cats are hitting the road for the third time in their first 4 games this season. So 3 road games out of their first 4. And this is the first one that hasn't been a home opener. Their first 3 games were all home openers, including their own. So 3 very emotional games to start the season. A tough schedule. Not many people are talking about that. All losses for the Tiger Cats. We know they're looking for their first victory of the year, but it'll be the first non-home opener, and it's Ottawa, the team that the Tiger Cats have picked up their first win against in the past 2 seasons. Wouldn't that be something if they made it 3 in a row? Redblacks are trying to bounce back from their first loss of the season. They were blown out by Montreal last week. Their win came at home. Of course, that's where this game will be played on Sunday, and they beat Winnipeg. So that's a big victory for Ottawa. That was in week 2. They had the week 1 bye, the dreaded week 1 bye for Ottawa, but now they're rolling. Getting off to a better start will be a good start for the Tiger Cats in getting a victory. They only have managed 3 points in the first quarter in the first 3 games, and they've been outscored 30-3 in quarter number 1. So they need to get off to a better start. Head coach Scott Milanovich has given some grace to the players, but he's at a point now where mistakes have to be limited and the team has to start getting results.
There's a little extra level of patience that I've discussed with them that is waning, right? It's getting to be the point in time where being young, having a new staff, all those things, you can't lean on that anymore. So, yes, there's been a level of that to some degree, but it's time to go. It's time to get out there and man up and play ball and do your job, really. I hate to, steal from Coach Belichick, but there's a reason he says do your job, and that's what we need to do at this point.
Those 5 turnovers the Tiger Cats made last week plummeted them to last in the league with the most turnovers with 7. Jamal Peters had an interception in that game. Jamal talked to Ticats Today yesterday, so be sure to check that out about his interception and what he saw on that play. But the ratio is -6 for the Tiger Cats. As far as Ottawa goes, they have 4 turnovers and 4 takeaways, so they have an even ratio. Here's Coach on the Tiger Cats' turnovers so far this season.
Obviously, we can't turn it over. That's the key. And that's the biggest part of this whole thing is we're 0 for 3 in the turnover ratio. And there isn't anything else that really matters.
A close second in importance will be discipline. The Tiger Cats have taken the most penalties in the CFL this season, and Ottawa averages the most penalties per game this season. Redblacks have played 1 fewer game than most teams. On paper, an area where the Redblacks might have an advantage is the return game. DeVonte Dedmon has been very good. He had the first kick return touchdown of the season. That came in week 3. He returned a kick 101 yards. He also has the longest punt return through the first 3 weeks of the season. That was a 49-yard return. So Ottawa in kick returns and punt returns are very, very good. As far as big play returns, they have 3 of them this season. The Tiger Cats don't have any big play returns, and Ottawa hasn't allowed any, so it won't be easy for the Tiger Cats to get a big return against the Redblacks, but that's an area where they'll have to improve if they're going to get that first victory. Hamilton's receiver depth is better than Ottawa's. Hamilton has 6 receivers in the top 40 in the CFL, whereas Ottawa only has 2. Shemar Bridges leads the Tiger Cats. He's 5th overall in the CFL. Justin Hardy leads the Redblacks. He's 6th overall. Tim White, he has been the topic of a lot of conversation. He has been the Tiger Cats' leading receiver the past 3 seasons, and he's never finished lower than 7th overall in the CFL, including last season when he led all receivers in receiving yards. He's currently 4th in receiving on the Tiger Cats, and 22nd in the CFL. An unfamiliar spot for Tim White, but there's plenty of time to turn it around. Here's how Tim White is dealing with this slow start.
Just continue to work. That's all you could do, just continue to put your head down, grind, fix things that, where you're making mistakes, and, eventually things just turn your way.
When I got here last year, he was far and away our best receiver. He led the room, took control. Things are a little different now, not that he's not our best receiver, he is, but we also have some other guys that he's not going to be targeted every play. And so I think there's a level of patience that has to come with that. And when his number's called and the coverage works out, his number's still getting called. It's just sometimes the coverages don't work out where the ball's going to go to him. There's got to be a level of patience. It won't be like it was last year where he was, by the end of the year, teams were doubling him and rolling the coverage to him, and you just can't play football consistently that way. So it's a good problem to have for a player that wants the ball and wants to get off to a better start. It can be frustrating. So he's doing a good job. He's doing a good job of handling it and continue. He had a great week of practice, worked his ass off, and I think he'll be rewarded for that.
Drew Brown is Ottawa's starting quarterback. He'll be making his third start of the season. That will set a career high for starts in a season for Drew Brown. So a big difference in quarterback experience in this one, as Bo Levi Mitchell will be making his 93rd career CFL start. We know Scott Milanovich has been great with quarterbacks. He's been a quarterbacks coach in the NFL, and quarterbacks he's worked with in both the NFL and the CFL. It's a long list of stars, and he's done his homework, and he knows a lot about Drew Brown and knows how dangerous he can be.
I know a little bit about him just from talking to Zach about him. And I know he thinks really highly of him. He's accurate. He's a gym rat. I don't know a ton about him as a personality, but I know he's a fiery leader. I know Tommy will do a good job of putting him in position. They've got receivers that can make plays. I think it's like any quarterback. Let's put some pressure on him. Let's not let him get a hot start where he's feeling good about the game, and see where it goes from there.
James Butler did not take part in practice again. He hasn't practiced all week, so it's not looking good for him to be able to suit up for Sunday's game. If he doesn't suit up, that means that Ante Milanovic-Litre will get many more touches. He's been really good in the short yardage and has come in and scored a couple of touchdowns as well in those short yardage situations. We also might see Greg Bell make his CFL debut. He had a terrific camp for the Tiger Cats, and he has the potential to make an impact. So we'll keep an eye on that running back position as the depth charts will come out on Saturday, the day before the game. Tiger Cats travel to Ottawa tomorrow for Sunday's game, so they'll get in a day early. We hope you get a chance to listen to the game on the Ticats audio network. Just go to ticats.ca/listen. The pregame show is at 6 with Bubba O'Neill and Mike Daly, and me and Luke Tasker will have the call of the game starting at 7 o'clock. Before the game, though, you have to listen to Tiger Cats Game Day with Courtney Stephen and Simone Lawrence. Simone is exactly the same as he was as a player. He's 100% all the time, brings the energy, and Courtney and Sim, they have great analysis. They'll get you set up for the game and get you fired up for the game, too. I'm RJ Broadhead. Thanks for listening to Ticats Today.
This has been Ticats Today with RJ Broadhead. Catch it on Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and anywhere else you get your podcasts.